The first time Ethan saw Aria, she was standing in the library, completely lost in a book, with strands of hair falling across her face. He wasn't the kind to believe in love at first sight, but in that moment he felt the world slow down. He noticed how her eyes lit up when she smiled faintly at the page, and something inside him whispered, "She's the one." They met officially a week later, when Ethan worked up the courage to ask her about the book she had been reading. Aria laughed softly, surprised he remembered. Their conversation began with novels, but within minutes, it grew into confessions of dreams, fears, and half-finished stories of their lives. It didn't take long for friendship to grow into love. Their days together were filled with laughter, shared ice creams, long walks under the stars, and countless promises whispered under the soft glow of the moon. Ethan would always tell her, "No matter what, I'll fight for us.
Even when it hurts, even when it feels impossible, I'll never let you go."
And Aria believed him. And the break, but life, as it often does, tested them. Ethan received a scholarship abroad, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Aria tried to smile, to be supportive, but deep down the thought of distance terrified her. They promised each other they would make it work. The first months were filled with calls that lasted until dawn, sweet texts and video chats where they fell asleep while still connected. But as time passed, the calls grew shorter. Ethan's schedule was crushing, and Aria often found herself staring at her phone, waiting for a reply that came hours too late. One night, after another argument about time and distance, Aria whispered through tears, "Maybe love isn't enough, Ethan." Ethan's chest ached, but all he could say was, "Please don't give up on me." But Aria couldn't take the loneliness anymore. She ended it. Into the hurt, the days after were unbearable for both of them. Aria missed his voice, the way he made her laugh at the smallest things, the comfort of knowing someone loved her fiercely. Yet every time she reached for her phone, she stopped herself. He deserves to focus on his dreams, she told herself. Ethan, on the other hand, carried her memory everywhere. He excelled in his studies, but every victory felt hollow without Aria to share it with. He wrote letters he never sent, promising her things she would never read. "I'll come back for you. I'll spend a lifetime proving that distance couldn't break us." All the perseverance years passed. When Ethan finally returned, he went straight to the cafe where Aria used to spend her afternoons. His heart raced as he wondered if she had moved on, if she had found someone else to give her heart to. But fate was kind. There she was, sitting by the window reading a book, just as she had the first time he saw her. He almost couldn't breathe. She looked up and their eyes met. Time froze again. "Ethan," she whispered, disbelief written across her face. "I kept my promise," he said softly, his voice trembling. "I told you I'd never let you go. I came back for you." Tears filled her eyes, a mixture of hurt, love, and the years they had lost.
"Do you know how much you broke me?"
she asked, her voice fragile. "Yes," he admitted, stepping closer. "And I know I don't deserve a second chance. But if you let me, I'll spend the rest of my life proving that I'm yours. That I always was." The sweet ending, Aria's heart battled between fear and longing. She wanted to believe him, to trust the boy who had once held her world together. But the ache of their past weighed heavy. Then Ethan knelt down right there in the cafe, ignoring the curious stares. He pulled out a small worn notebook, the one he had carried all those years abroad. Inside were pages filled with letters, each one written to her. "I wrote to you every day," he said, voice shaking. "Even when we weren't talking. Because I never stopped loving you. Not for a single moment." Aria's tears spilled freely as she flipped through the pages. Promises, dreams, apologies, love in every line. She looked at him, her heart finally giving in. "You're an idiot," she whispered, smiling through her tears. "An idiot who loves you," he replied, hope glimmering in his eyes. And for the first time in years, Aria leaned forward and kissed him. It was soft, trembling, but full of everything they had endured. Heartbreak, perseverance, promises kept, and the sweetness of finding their way back. In that moment they knew, love wasn't about never breaking. It was about breaking, hurting, and still choosing each other again. And Ethan whispered the same words he had all those years ago, only this time, with unshakable certainty. "No matter what, I'll fight for us, always." And so their story,